Have you ever replayed the same conversation 10 times in your head? Maybe someone sent a short text message, and suddenly your mind started creating theories. Are they upset? Did I say something wrong? What if I made a mistake? Or perhaps you're lying in bed at night, exhausted, wanting to sleep, but your brain decides it's the perfect time to analyze every decision you've ever made. You tell yourself, stop thinking, but the thoughts keep coming. And then something strange happens. You start thinking about the fact that you're thinking too much. Now you're overthinking your overthinking. It's like being trapped inside a room made entirely of mirrors, where every thought reflects into another thought. Why does this happen? Why can intelligent, successful, and capable people spend hours trapped inside their own minds? And why does overthinking feel so impossible to stop, even when we know it's making us miserable? Today, we're going to explore the psychology and neuroscience behind overthinking, uncover the hidden reasons your brain keeps doing it, and discover practical ways to break free from the cycle. Because what you're about to learn may completely change how you see your thoughts. Let's begin with an important truth. Overthinking is not a character flaw. It is not proof that you're weak, and it certainly doesn't mean you're broken. In fact, overthinking begins as a survival mechanism. Thousands of years ago, our ancestors faced real dangers every day. A strange sound in the bushes could mean a predator. A poor decision could mean starvation. A conflict within the tribe could threaten survival. The humans who carefully analyzed risks were often more likely to survive. Their brains evolved to look for problems before problems appeared. Fast forward to today. The predators are mostly gone, but the ancient brain remains. Now, instead of worrying about lions, it worries about emails. Instead of analyzing footprints in the forest, it analyzes text messages. The brain is still doing the same job. It's scanning for threats. The only difference is that modern threats are often psychological rather than physical. And because many psychological threats don't have clear answers, the brain keeps searching and searching and searching. One of the biggest reasons overthinking feels impossible to stop is because it creates the illusion of control. Imagine you're waiting for the results of an important interview. You don't know what will happen. That uncertainty feels uncomfortable. So your mind starts analyzing every detail. What if I had answered differently? What if they didn't like me? What if I don't get selected? Here's the strange part. Thinking about the problem doesn't actually change the outcome, but it creates a feeling that you're doing something. Psychologists call this the illusion of control. The brain often prefers painful certainty over uncertain peace, because uncertainty feels dangerous. Even when thinking isn't helping, the brain convinces itself that continued analysis will eventually produce a solution. So it keeps going, like a search engine endlessly refreshing the same page.
Inside your brain is a small almond-shaped structure called the amygdala. Think of it as your internal alarm system. Its job is simple: detect threats. When the amygdala senses danger, it activates stress responses throughout the body. Your heart rate changes, stress hormones increase, attention narrows. You become hyper-focused on potential problems. This is useful during real emergencies. But here's the issue. The amygdala cannot always distinguish between physical danger and imagined danger. A tiger in front of you? Threat. A future event that might never happen? The alarm can still activate. A memory from 5 years ago? The alarm can still activate. A possible embarrassment tomorrow? Again, The alarm activates. Your body reacts as if the threat is happening now. And once that alarm turns on, your mind starts searching for explanations and solutions. This creates a loop. Anxious feeling leads to worried thoughts. Worried thoughts create more anxiety. More anxiety creates more worried thoughts. Round and round it goes.
Here's something surprising. Research suggests that highly intelligent people can be more vulnerable to overthinking. Why? Because intelligence gives the mind more possibilities to explore. Imagine standing at a crossroads with two paths. A person who thinks simply may choose one and move on. But an overactive analytical mind sees 20 possibilities, then 50, then 100. Every choice creates new branches. Every branch creates new scenarios. Every scenario creates new worries. The mind becomes trapped in endless simulations of the future, like running hundreds of movie trailers simultaneously. The ability that helps solve complex problems can become a burden when directed inward. Intelligence is powerful, but without boundaries, it can become a factory producing endless what-ifs.
Most people assume overthinking feels bad all the time. But that's not entirely true. Overthinking secretly rewards us. Not with happiness, but with temporary relief. Imagine you're worried about something. You begin analyzing it. For a brief moment, it feels like you're making progress. The anxiety decreases slightly. Your brain notices this. It learns, thinking helped me feel better. So next time anxiety appears, the brain automatically chooses the same strategy. Think more, analyze more, predict more, prepare more. This creates a habit loop. Anxiety becomes the trigger. Overthinking becomes the response. Temporary relief becomes the reward. And habits are difficult to break because they're wired into the brain's learning system.
One of the biggest traps is believing that the solution to overthinking is more thinking. Imagine being stuck in quicksand. The harder you struggle, the deeper you sink. Overthinking often works the same way. You tell yourself, I just need one more answer, one more explanation, one more certainty. But certainty rarely arrives because life itself is uncertain. No amount of thinking can eliminate every risk. No amount of analysis can guarantee every outcome. The search for complete certainty is like chasing the horizon. No matter how far you go, it remains out of reach. The goal isn't to eliminate uncertainty. The goal is to learn how to live alongside it.
Now let's discuss practical solutions. First, notice when thinking stops being productive. Ask yourself, am I solving a problem or replaying it? Problem solving moves forward. Overthinking moves in circles. Second, shift attention from thoughts to actions. The brain often calms down when action begins. Even a small step can reduce mental noise. Third, practice labeling thoughts. Instead of saying, I will fail, say, I'm having the thought that I will fail. This creates psychological distance. You are observing the thought instead of becoming the thought. Fourth, schedule worry time. Yes, schedule it. Choose 15 minutes each day dedicated solely to worrying. When worries appear outside that window, remind yourself, I'll think about this later. Surprisingly, many worries lose their power by the time the scheduled period arrives. Fifth, reconnect with the present moment. Look around. Notice what you can see, hear, touch, smell. Overthinking lives in the past and future. Presence exists now. And the present moment is usually far safer than the scenarios created inside our heads.
Overthinking feels impossible to stop because it isn't merely a bad habit. It's a survival system trying to protect you. A system that evolved thousands of years ago. A system that mistakes uncertainty for danger. A system that believes more thinking will create more safety. But safety does not come from controlling every possibility. It comes from trusting your ability to handle whatever happens. The goal is not to silence the mind completely. The human mind was never designed to be silent. The goal is to stop treating every thought as a command. Every thought is not a prediction. Every thought is not a warning. Every thought is not the truth. Sometimes a thought is simply a thought, a cloud passing through the sky of awareness. And when you learn to watch those clouds without chasing them, something remarkable happens. The storm begins to lose its power. And for the first time, you realize that peace was never hiding inside the next answer. It was waiting beyond the need to find one.
If you found this video helpful, subscribe for more psychology and self-growth content. And tell me in the comments, what's one thought you've been overthinking lately? Sometimes sharing it is the first step toward letting it go.